Shalom, Kahala, Yahweh, Bashem, Yahushai, Bashem, Rakal Kodash. Double honors my teachers, the apostles and elders of the great millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect who are the house of David, reborn again in this generation. And Shalom to the 130 Yasharallah, who today are known as the Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, who before losing our true heritage, we were known as, and still are, the true Hebrew Israelites of the Holy Bible. In today's lesson, we're going to talk about the chariots of the Lord and what He is doing to prepare for them. But let's read this first. This is Zechariah 5:4. I will bring it forth, saith Yahweh Bashem El Shai of hosts, and it shall enter into the house of the thief, and into the house of him that sweareth falsely by my name. And it shall remain in the midst of his house, and shall consume it with the timber thereof and the stones thereof. So recently, the Department of Defense creates a new group to investigate unexplained aerial sightings due to national security risk. Right? Now, the real reason that these devils, these Edomites, and when I say Edomites, I'm referring to the Caucasians, are creating these new resources, agencies, the Space Force, and all these different things having to do with protecting us from outer space is because these Edomites in power, the ones at the very top, the elites, the 1%ers who actually run the world, they understand that we are soon to be visited by the Messiah and what is referred to as the second coming of the Lord. Right? And they also understand that when the Lord comes back, He's going to destroy them, right? He's going to come with vengeance and destruction for Edom, right? The nation who is currently ruling over the world, wickedly, may I add. Now, that being said, Esau is actually doing everything he can to prepare for that, right? Be it trying to kill off the seed of Israel, right? First with the polluting of the world, to just the straight up domination and oppression of our people, and with these C-19 snake bites, right? These are all in an effort to kill off the Israelites here in the world before the Lord shows up, right? That either kill them off or claim them as His own by making them His property, which is what that mark of the beast, which they eventually will bring forth, will actually entail. Now, what they're also doing is they're also preparing their forces, right? This is why you're seeing laser weaponry being developed or being released and showed off, and you're seeing what I just read right here, right? You're seeing a new group being created to investigate, or pretty much keep an eye and keep the tabs on all these sightings, right? Because right now what's happening, like I just read in the scripture, the Lord's chariots are entering into the house of the thief, right? And what that refers to is that all these UFO sightings that we're seeing in the world right now, right? These are the UFOs entering into the house of the thief, right? All these coming and goings, the chariots visiting the army, the military bases, messing with the nuclear missiles, all these things. These are all things that the Lord said He would do, prophesying that He said He would do it, right? And Esau, because he's knowing that the time is coming close, he's actually now doing more to try to prepare himself, right? So much so that he can't hide it, right? So he's putting it out in the public, but he's putting it out as if they're doing it for national security, right? As if it's China or Russia that's doing it. Well, let's go and read this article, and I'll go ahead and show you some other videos that explain just where we're at in this whole scenario. It says, there have been almost 150 reportings of unidentified aerial phenomena, UAPs, over restricted U.S. military areas, The Pentagon announced it would create a new group to search for answers to identify these mysterious objects. And these devils know exactly what these things are, man. They know that they're the angels of the Lord, but they're not gonna tell you, man. Right? This is why this new group that they're creating, man, is being created, because they need to have a way to control all the information that's coming out. Now, again, they're not gonna come out here and tell you, oh, these are the angels of the Bible. No, man, because they need to hide this from the people, because they got an agenda to push out, and that agenda is world domination and the destruction of the Israelites. Now, let's continue. Deputy Secretary of Defense Kathleen Hicks announced Tuesday that the new group would be called the Airborne Object Identification and Management Synchronization Group, and would lead an effort to detect, identify, and attribute objects in restricted airspace. It says incursions by any airborne object into the special use airspace pose safety of flight and operation security concerns and may pose national security challenges. Department of Defense takes reports of incursions by any airborne object, identified or unidentified, very seriously and investigates each one, the Pentagon said in a statement. The creation of the group comes in the wake of an Office of the Director of National Intelligence report. Since 2004, the report revealed there have been 143 UAP sightings over sensitive areas. The IDNI wasn't able to explain the sightings. About 21 of the sightings demonstrated advanced propulsion systems unknown to the U.S. Right? And what are those advanced propulsion systems? Well, that's the Chariot's, energy, man. That's the mechanisms that the Lord uses, man. His technology, right? There was a interview that one of these guys, I forgot his name, but he's a like representative from the government who said that these chariots are about 100 to 1,000 years more advanced in technology than the U.S. currently is, man. So this shows you how much more advanced the angels of the Lord are to Esau and his weaponry, man. They got no chance as far as fighting against the Lord. Continuing. Some have said that the UAPs are from another world, while others claim they could be advanced technology from China or Russia. Bullshit. They're aliens from another world, man, and that basically means that they're the angels of the Lord, all right? Because they are not from this world, man. That's ultimately what aliens mean, right? Aliens doesn't mean little gray or green men with big eyes, man. Aliens just mean something not of this area. Continuing. The Pentagon said it would issue implementing guidance, which will include further details about AOIMSG's organizational structure. Whoever will lead this group will have the power to standardize incident reporting and examine sighting data. This will help the military recognize shortfalls in detection capabilities. All right, so see, there's nothing that Esau can do, man, other than report and gather information, right? Because you see, the Lord's angels and their chariots are far more advanced and far bigger than anything that Esau can handle, right? Let's take a look at this, for example. This was released last week.
Hey guys, it's UFO Man. Here's a mind-blowing clip of Saturn showing a massive UFO entering in from frame right and going to the left. It appears to be flying into the rings and then flying out on the other side of Saturn. Check it out, make an assessment, let me know what you think. The UFO was estimated at 0.50% the size of the Earth. So that's half the size of the planet we live on. That is huge. Take a look, make an assessment, let me know what you think. And as always, thank you for watching.
This is Psalms 68 and 17. The chariots of Yahweh Bashem Yashai are 20,000, even thousands of angels. The Lord is amongst them, as in Sinai in the holy place. So you see, the Lord, when he comes, he's going to bring a lot of these chariots with him, man. So the sky is going to be filled with what people believe are UFOs, which are in fact chariots, right? There's going to be a sky just full of these massive bodies, right? Of what the world calls UFOs, but again, they're chariots of the Lord, right? And people aren't even going to understand what they're looking at, man, right? Because in this video here, it's just going to show you what these angels have done when they come to these nuclear sites. And one part I want you to focus on is this guard who says that he actually looked upon one of these angels and he couldn't even describe it, that it was just out of his comprehension of what he was looking at, man, right? So this is something to consider, right? Let's watch it.
Congress is considering legislation to create a new and permanent office to investigate UFO incidents and related phenomena.
One of the primary reasons for the renewed interest is the possible link between UFO sightings and nuclear weapons, including a few in our own backyard.
As the I-Team's George Knapp reports, some of these close encounters go far beyond mere lights in the sky.
The connection between UFOs and nuclear weapons has been documented as far back as the very first atomic blast, the Trinity explosion in 1945 New Mexico. Since then, hundreds of former military personnel have come forward with reports of unknown craft buzzing nuclear tests, atomic labs, and missile bases. A group of former officers told about their encounters at a Washington news conference in October of this year. Investigator Robert Hastings has obtained hundreds of pages of once classified Pentagon files about these incidents and has personally interviewed more than 150 retired military officers about ominous encounters involving nuclear weapons.
UFOs have routinely monitored our nuclear weapons going back decades.
The national security implications are a major reason former Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid co-sponsored a once-secret UFO investigation overseen by the DIA. But the UFO nukes connection is much stranger than mere unknown craft in the sky. On the outskirts of Las Vegas, an obscure part of the Nellis Air Force Base range, designated Area 2, has for decades been a reputed repository for nuclear warheads. As many as 200 nukes are said to be stored in Area 2's bunkers. 3 layers of heavily armed Air Force security teams patrol the area 24/7, watching for any attempted intrusions.
So on 2 occasions, we had an alert that was called where there was unidentified flying object over Area 2.
This former security officer says intrusions didn't only happen in the sky. There were multiple incidents of bizarre shadow people seen in and around Area 2, including one dramatic incident from 1991 when security teams were on high alert.
This person was never found, but the airman that had seen this person described them as being really tall, like 7 foot, and like I said, moving very fast. It was very strange.
So when I got there, I was straight security.
Another Area 2 security officer, Chris Cabrera, heard the stories of shadow people, but didn't know if they were real until he had his own encounter.
And when I turned around, there was this black mass form. I don't know what you would call it. It looked like I don't even know how to describe it. Like it looked like a person, but it didn't have definitive shape of a head.
Like vague, like a mist or something?
No mist. It was black. It was like a dark blob, but it had like a rounded top, like a head almost, and almost like a shoulder.
As with the UFO incidents, the sightings of dark, unknown intruders were taken seriously at the time. Officers were on alert as they searched Area 2, but never found a trace of the running figures. Their commanders told them that, quote, it never happened. Investigator Robert Hastings says similar bizarre incidents have been reported at multiple nuclear bases, and none of the mystery encounters, either in the sky or on the ground, have ever been solved. George Knapp, 8 News Now.
So there you go, right? So that just shows you, man, that these angels, right, they have the ability to change their form, right? And we've read this in the Bible, right? From the angels appearing in golden armor to appearing as regular humans, right? To all these different figures, man. From the figures that have like the 4 heads or the multiple eyes, right? All these things are within the power of these angels and these brethren of ours to modify the way that they appear to us, right? And in this case here, when they were entering into the house of the thieves, as the scripture said, right? They had appeared in this like this guy said, man, this black blob. He couldn't even explain it type of form, right, to where it confounded him, right? And it was there to do its job and to get whatever information it needed to get, or to implant certain information. Because again, you got to remember, right, just as that news clip said, man, that UFOs and nuclear weapons go back, hand in hand for years, right? And why is that? Well, because as it tells you in the Bible, that the lake of fire, Armageddon, will come to the world at the hands of nuclear annihilation, which the Lord himself is going to initiate by firing off those missiles, by leading the missiles to land upon Babylon the Great, America, as it's known in the Bible, and destroy this place along with all its, NATO allies, right? This is why these chariots have always been, reported in these nuclear sites. And again, we've been talking about this for years, man, right? But now these devils are coming out and admitting it, right? So now when we say, that the fire is going to be nuclear bombs and everything, everybody used to scoff before, right? But this is telling you right here, man, that there is a connection between the chariots of the Lord and nuclear weapons, right? Let's read this. This is 1 Corinthians 2:9. But as it is written, eyes have not seen, nor ear heard, neither have entered into the heart of man the things which God hath prepared for them that love him, right? So this is giving you an idea, right, that just like as that man was confounded, he couldn't explain what he had seen, that he was having problems describing that dark figure, right? That's how we're going to be, those who make it into the kingdom and see all these things, man. That's how they're going to be, or Lord willing, that's how we're going to be, trying to explain all the great beauty, all these things that the Lord has prepared for us, man. So just as we're going to be unable to explain it, because it's going to be something new, imagine, right? Imagine a new color, something that you've never seen before, man. Think about that for a moment, man. Try to explain or think up of a new color. You can, right? Because it's not even in your comprehension, right? That's exactly what is going to be waiting for us, and ultimately that's what's going to be waiting for these wicked 2/3 of our people plus the world, and when the end of the world comes, man, this is going to be something that they've never seen before, man. And just like that guard who was confounded, couldn't explain, that's how they're going to be, man. They're not going to be able to explain what they're seeing, right? They're going to see skies full of these big, enormous vehicles. They're not even going to understand what they are. They're going to probably think it's from China, it's Russia, or it's, some may even think it's UFOs, and there's only be a very small few, the elect, more likely, that are going to understand that those are the chariots of the Lord returning for us, right? And to destroy our enemies. This is Luke 21 and 28. And when these things begin to come to pass, then look up and lift up your heads, for your redemption draweth nigh. And this is it, Akim. We're living. in the last seconds of the last days, right? You could tell by the events going on, man, how these devils are locking down the world as we're living in it. You're starting to see the economy implode. You're seeing them preparing for the so-called alien invasion, right? The mark of the beast is at the door, right? We're here, Akim. So again, as these things start coming more and more, closer to the end, look up, because again, this is where we're going to start seeing more of these chariots, more of these things showing up in the skies, right? So hopefully this video was edifying, Akim. Till the next time, I'll give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rukah Bardash, double honors my teachers, the apostles, the elders, the great millstone. Peace and mercy to the elect. Shalom.